Because you can't, you won't, and you don't stop. Well, hey, good Friday evening to you. How is everyone out there? It is good to see you. It is good to be seen by you. I, of course, am Bill Sylvie, a.k.a. the Dungeon Delver, and I hope you're having an absolutely swell one. What'd you guys get up to last night? Did y'all do anything? Well, I, of course, last night, if you missed it, and I'm sorry if you did, we had Errol Otis in the house last night. Errol was here. He answered a lot of questions. That video is still available. I'm not pointing to a link or anything. It's not up there. But yeah, you can actually go watch the video. Don't watch it now. Watch it later. Watch it this weekend. Savor it like fine wine. But yeah, if you missed the video, you can go watch the video. It's awesome. Errol was great. We had some great fun talking to the audience last night, and we got a little bit of inside baseball on his history of working at TSR, the things he had done and the things he had done after. And it was very, very cool. And we're going to have more and equally cool and diverse guests on the show. So stay tuned, stay subscribed. Guess what? We're at 4606, 4607, something like that. So welcome to those of you who have subscribed. And in case you weren't aware, this live stream is brought to you by our friends at Hellebarde Games. Hellebarde makes the kind of RPG products that you'd like to play, whether it's for OSR, for 5th edition, or for Castles and Crusades. Old school rules are in play at the table with Hellebarde Games, and right now they have a sale going on their website. That's right, they have a sale on their website, hellebardegames.com, where if you purchase a print copy of a 5th edition module, use the discount code 5EOOP at checkout to receive 50% off. That's 50. And of course, our friends over at Hellebarde are one of the many sponsors of the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention. That's right. Coming up in less than a month, we're closing in on it fast, guys. We're going to have a little bit of a virtual convention, and we have got lots of cool stuff planned for it. Doomsword Deathmaster is holding an AD&D tournament with cash prizes. We are going to be giving out other kinds of prizes. I got another box of goodies today from Jack Photon, but we're going to open that up on Monday and have a gander in it. Or rather, I'm going to share it with you guys, because the last time I said, hey, I'll just wait, we had an explosion of stuff from Jack Photon. So I'm going to sort through it so I can properly show it to you guys. And I'm sure there's some stuff that I can give away / share with you guys for the Guac 2, actually, the second one. Great Underground Online Gaming Convention, and I am seriously looking forward to it. It's on warhorn.net. If you go to warhorn.net and look for Great Underground Online Gaming Convention, you'll find us. You can register for games. You can register as a GM. We have merch. We have merch. I will put up the merch link Actually, I think the merch is linked on the convention Discord. And you might be asking, well, how much is the con, Bill? What does it cost? Are there tickets? Do I spend money? Do I buy up tickets to be at the convention? And the answer is no. Look, there are lots of great gaming conventions, okay? And I promise you, if this was a real convention, if I could invite you guys down here to Florida and say, we'll meet at the, at the community center and we'll spend a couple of days playing games, then I would, there'd be a cover fee for that. But this is, it's just some fun. You can have a convention-like atmosphere there in the comfort of your own home. And I didn't think much of virtual cons until two instances. I ran one myself, and I was at GaryCon 2020. I ran 5 games at GaryCon 2020. What a trip that was. Lord Corion, hello. Good to see you. Welcome back. One of our favorite people out there in audience land. Hail and well met to Lord Corion. I'm really glad to see you, bud, and I hope you're doing well. Are you gonna try and make any games, Lord Corion, at the Guac? I hope so. But yeah, if I was doing it for real, I'd figure out come Thursday, one day, whatever, and, we'll price it accordingly. But again, this is just something you can sit back and do. But there's still merch. You can still get t-shirts and glasses and dice bags and sports bras. I'm not making that last one up. Danny Van Dever, hello, good to see you. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. There's merch, there's prizes, there's sponsors, and Saturday night, there will be there will actually be an artist alley Saturday afternoon / Saturday evening. Tracy Lesh, that's right, the Dragon Magazine artist, the OD&D artist. It came from the Late Late Show, Boot Hill, Marvel Productions artist. Tracy Lesh will be in the house on Artist Alley, and he's going to have merch to sell. You guys will be able to purchase signed Tracy Lesh prints and all other kinds of merch, and we'll talk to him on that interview, and that's going to be a lot of fun. So don't miss out, guys. It's the 21st through the 24th, and it's a lot of fun. It's over the weekend at the end of June. So join us, won't you? I did mention, and if I didn't mention, I'm mentioning it right now. Next week, Heidi Gagax, Eric Garland will be on the show. Hopefully Kyle will be back and his family will be feeling better, which will allow him to come back. But we would definitely hope that he can be here next week. Monday, we've got a mail call. Tuesday, of course, is live stream AD&D. We left on a cliffhanger last week because we started B2, the Keep on the Borderlands, and the party has stuck it in and broken it off in a fight with kobolds. So we're going to find out what happens there. And then, just the show, it goes. But anyway, what we've got going on right now is we've been doing kind of a deep dive, deep read of Doug Niles' module N1 Against the Cult of the Reptile God, which is it's a module. Some people have strong feelings about it. I don't know how there structurally there is a lot of good in N1. There are good things to help an early DM out, and I can't hate on it too much for being railroady because it's not just meant as a low-level module. I get the vibe from it, and I think you guys will agree as we read on. It's also for a low-level DM if you follow my lead, but let's take a look at it before we get too into the evening, because at 9 o'clock we're going to be playing some Gamma World. So streaming it, actually. I'm not just going to go off and be like, bye, I'm going to go play Gamma. No, I mean we're gonna stream Gamma World right here for you guys. So let me pull up my copy of the module here and we can continue on. And if you're not aware, it is actually set in the world of Greyhawk. Now, maybe one of these days we could get Doug Niles on the show to talk to us about this a little bit and find out if it is in the world of Greyhawk by TSR edict or if it was really something that Doug wanted to do. But let's, hey, Squirrel Hermit, good to see you. So let's take a quick get this. Oh, and one thing I do want to mention, because you saw how dreadfully slow that was, and I've probably gone full robot on you. The Studio PC. The Studio PC is in dire need of an upgrade. I ordered a surplus CPU, and I have some RAM was donated. So hopefully we can get this thing and a little upgraded. And of course, even if the stuff came Monday, I'd want to wait till the weekend so I could start working on it like Friday night or Saturday morning to make sure nothing was going to go awry. You know, I'm not going to start like, oh, I got 30 minutes before the show, I'll just install some RAM and pop in a new CPU. No. You don't do that on industrial workstations. Certainly not before you're about to go into production. So your thoughts, prayers, and donations are warmly and gladly accepted for the streaming PC, so it'll stop chugging constantly. Okay, so let us dive back into this. And talk about the trail to the reptile god's lair using my underground lair. The trail Greyhawk hexes 112U5, 111I5, 111H5, 112H5. It is assumed that the players have now determined that the cult headquarters... Oh, Lord Corion, thank you very much. Get myself a can of air for that PC and then a can of red paint because red ones go faster. Thank you so much, Lord Corion. Anyway, so the trail covers those hexes. If Ranmi goes as his advisor, he will not use his spells unless the success of the expedition is jeopardized, and he will certainly save his minor globe of invulnerability for the confrontation with the Naga herself. He will counsel that the departure be delayed until any lost hit points and spells can be restored. So he's our little Elminster for this adventure, and I don't say that with any great affection. The route of the cult members, both human and reptilian, from Orlane to their dungeon headquarters occupies 4 days travel time. The first day will be spent crossing the plains east of Orlane, Few, if any, monsters will be encountered here. The second and third will be spent crossing through the dim forest. It is very likely that unfriendly beings will attempt to molest the group beneath those dark boughs. The fourth day will find the party slogging through the mire of the Rushmores. It is a virtual certainty that some of the marsh's inhabitants will be encountered here. Appropriate wandering monster charts are given for each area in the corresponding section of the module. The DM must remember that it is important for the party to get to the dungeon. Encounters that are obviously too strong for the group, especially if they have been weakened by previous encounters, should be reduced or bypassed. For example, the party might come across a predator's kill or war party's trail instead of the actual monsters, or they might be able to sneak past a monster that is otherwise engaged. On the other hand, a very strong party might encounter up to double the number of creatures or more. In all cases, the DM should match the challenge to party strength and the general flow of the adventure. Whiskers can follow the trail of the troglodytes automatically, although the DM may want to roll some percentage dice to make the party apprehensive. If Ramney and Whiskers are not accompanying the group, a ranger may attempt to follow the trail. Use the table in the player's handbook to determine success, modified as below. Add plus 25% of the roll due to the oft-used state of the trail. Dice must be rolled each day spent crossing the plains or forests. The trail in the swamp is obvious. If no cult members have used the trail during the adventure, assume that 7 days have passed since the last one traveled it. Losing the trail means a 1-day delay. Subsequent success means the trail has been found. I'm not super crazy about those, but I think we can live-ish with them. Crossing the plain. The first day of travel from Orlane will be spent crossing the grassy plains of the village. The farther from Orlane the party progresses, the fewer signs of civilization will be seen. Most of the farms have been abandoned or are occupied by cult members. No travelers have been met since the trouble in Orlane has put a halt to the caravan traffic. At the day of travel, the farms will be left behind and the trees of the dim forest will be visible in the distance. The trail the party has been following, the trail has been following the track to Hook Hill thus far, but the party will need to pause for the night. I'm sorry, guys. Pardon me for a minute. I need to get some reading glasses. I'm actually having trouble focusing. Just a moment. Thank you all for your patience. Greetings, oldie school. There we go. Hi, Danny. The convention is virtual. It is a virtual convention. And let me know if you need the link. I will share that link up. A wandering monster check should be made for the first night. Roll a d6, a roll of 6 indicating an encounter. If a monster happens along, check the dim forest wandering monster table to see which of the forest's denizens have wandered out onto the plain. Through the dim forest. Early on the second day of travel, the party will enter this region of permanent twilight. Moss dangles from the limbs over the party's head, and no sunlight pierces the thick greenery of ancient trees. This is a hushed wood. The common sounds of squirrels and birds are missing. Several hours after entering the forest, the trail to the dungeon parts from the track, veering sharply to the right. Because of the lack of sunlight, there is little underbrush, so the party may walk 2 or 3 abreast if they desire. The remainder of this day and all the next are spent following a faint trail across the forest floor. And then we have the wandering monster checks. A D8 indicates which monster shows up. My show looks better. Sure thing, Danny. I will put that URL up there real quick. Y'all, pardon me just a minute. No, that's not right at all. Hang on a second. I'll put that right back up. I just got to get the. I just need to get the URL. Sorry, guys. Yes, they are. They're lovely readers. Okay, there you go, guys. There's the link, and I'm going to put that up there. So you guys can go check that out. And I do apologize for the sudden slam on the brakes there with the let's read. Let's get back to it. All right, so we have goblins, 2 to 8 of them, a wild boar, 3 troglodytes, that's 1 to 4 troglodytes, an ogre, 1 to 6 zombies, 1 to 4 wolves, a black bear, or 2 to 8 skeletons. Once a group of wandering monsters has been met, it will not be encountered again. Oh, sorry. I fell asleep there when Doug was telling us, don't put wandering monsters on the trail. We love wandering monsters around here. The Muck of the Rushmores. Wasn't that the fake heavy metal band that was on WKRP that one time? No, that was the Scum of the Earth. So the Rushmores have a wandering monster table there. Attack of the Giant Leeches. And if you know that reference, you get a no prize for the evening. You're quite welcome, by the way, for sharing that. We have Sturges. I'm sorry, well-used Sturges can take down a mid-level party. Troglodyte and a giant snapping turtle. If the party elects to travel by night, this trip will still take 4 periods of travel broken by 3 rests. There will actually be a greater chance of encounters at night since most of these creatures are nocturnal. So add an extra check each night. Okay, so now you might not have a copy of the World of Greyhawk set. And if that's the case, and you're a new DM, or you're a new DM, and you have the World of Greyhawk set, and you haven't sorted it out yet, you haven't gotten everything to gel. This is fine. This is okay. For me, if I am an experienced DM and I'm like, look, guys, you're experienced players, but we're firing the campaign back up. We are going to play AD&D, and you're going to bring your first level characters, and I'm going to start with N1 against the Cult of the Reptile God. Thank you, Rich. Thank you so much. Rich says bullywugs or it didn't happen. I definitely appreciate the super, Rich. Thank you so much. But put that where I can find it. Thank you so much, Rich. Oh, that is rich. No, really, that was rich. That was a super chat. But anyway, I mean, if your players really want to just like get in the teeth of a new campaign, just use the World of Greyhawk set. I mean, yeah, you can adjust accordingly, right? I mean, first level party, you roll in a possible woods encounter. It's a huge ancient red dragon in lair. You might want to massage that a little bit. Or maybe that's something that the well-heeled players can turn to their advantage. Hey, look, man, I don't want to cause any problems, but I heard there's this reptile cult somewhere around here. And, they've been saying you're an asshole, but... Or just tell them that there's a reptile cult. There's a reptile cult and it's not worshiping me. I'm not saying it's going to work out for the party, but just, Anyway, so the Dungeon of the Reptile God. After a wearisome trek through a seemingly endless sea of rushed, I think that's probably supposed to be rushes, the adventurers will see a low barrier in front of them. Soon thereafter, they will reach this barrier, a circular dike made of mud and wood. The dike holds the swamp water back from a small island of dry land, barely 50 feet across. If the tired band of adventurers elects to spend the night here, they will have no encounters. They will have to rest soon, however, or begin to suffer from fatigue, -2 to all 2 hit rolls. Don't do that. Don't do that. Neophyte DMs or veteran DMs, my advice either way, don't do that. For a first level party, being -2 to hit, they literally might as well pack up and go home. And I'm sorry, I think that is a bad thing to have in the module. If the players ask, they will find that the water level in the swamp is above the entrance to the dungeon. Thus, if the dike were destroyed, the labyrinth would slowly fill with water. If the group should attempt this at the present time, however, the dungeon's inhabitants would soon emerge to see what was causing the leak. The dike would quickly be repaired, and party members fleeing through the marsh would soon be overtaken by monsters capable of much swifter movement in the mucky environments. A huge ancient red kobold. What a huge ancient red kobold be like? What would its breath weapon attack? It would smell like, I don't know, like Gardetto's honey mustard and onion. Or no, it's Hanover's honey mustard and onion pretzel bites. And they'd whine. And they'd still only have 1 to 4 hit points. If Ranby is present, he will strongly advise against flooding the dungeon before exploring it, mentioning that there may well be some helpless prisoners down there. Special note, if he's not or is killed, the party should find a scroll of minor globe of invulnerability and a dispel magic, 7th level caster ability, before they reach the final encounter. They will need these spells to have a chance against the Naga. Entry to the dungeon is easy. Since there's a gaping hole in the ground at the center of the dry land, if a character looks down, he'll see a muddy set of wooden stairs descending into the earth. The corridor is about 10 feet high and the same distance wide. General description of dungeon conditions. The lair of the reptile god differs somewhat from the average subterranean setting in that it has been excavated in an area of soggy dirt, not rock. Corridors will be 10 feet high and 10 feet wide unless otherwise indicated, and at 5-foot intervals, the walls and ceilings will be supported by massive, though usually slightly rotten, timbers. The wooden doors will be swollen with moisture and will generally be stuck closed. The dampness is inescapable, as are the smell of rot, mold, and swamp gas. The floor is always wet and slippery, but in some areas, a thick layer of mud must be walked through. These places are indicated on the map with shading, and the DM must mention that the movement is slowed to 1/2 the usual rate when the group crosses over one of these areas. See, I'm okay with that. In some cases, which will be mentioned in the key, movement is slowed even more drastically. In addition, a slurping sound is produced when a party passes through the mud, eliminating any chances of surprising a quiet and stationary creature. Water trickles everywhere through the tunnels, working its way down to the pump room, 29. The trickling should be mentioned frequently to distract the players. Huge ancient red kobold is what happens when you made a kobold with an Ifrit. Aha! Somebody's been playing that type of 5th edition game, I see. Wandering monsters skulk through the tunnels of the reptile god. Different wandering monster tables are given for the 1st and 2nd levels of the dungeon, so be sure to consult the appropriate chart. So on level 1, we've got giant rats, a giant lizard, poisonous snake, constrictor, troglodytes, and giant weasel. And we'll just kind of move along. There's wooden stairs. There's an entry room with human guards. Chamber of the Frogs. Brek-ek-ek-eks. Beyond the door is a room which is almost totally filled with a murky brown pool of water. The smell of swamp gas is very strong here. A thick slime-covered column rises from the center of the room to support the sagging timbers of the ceiling. Across the chamber, a small muddy shelf extends into the pool. Hiding in the water near the center of the pool are two killer frogs who will attack anyone stepping through the door. The pool is about 3 feet deep throughout. An additional 1 foot of mud on the bottom. Wading through it is at quarter the usual movement rate. There is no treasure here. The secret door is actually a plug of dirt that fills a 3-foot diameter hole. It may be detected with the usual roll, allowing elves and half-elves their bonus, of course. Notice the door may be removed in 2 turns of diligent digging, revealing a narrow tunnel that snakes back into a room. So we've got the cult treasure chamber. 3 large chests on a 5x5 wooden platform are raised a foot above the muddy floor in the center of the room. And what do we have here? This is a minor treasure room of the cult. The sides of the platform are solid, so it cannot be looked without doing it. The platform is hollow and empty beneath. The chests are not trapped, but are locked and bound with brass, making them virtually impossible to break into by force. Minus 10% from a roll to bend bars, lift gates, allowing each player 1 roll. The first chest contains 12,070 copper. The second, 4,560 silver and 450 electrum. The third, 87 ornamental stones, worth an average of 10 gold apiece, and 6 semi-precious stones worth 25 gold apiece. There's cave-in. There's a burial pool. Dozens of skeletons. Strong smell of death and decay in the room. Home of the green slime. It's a green slime. Human cult members room, because this is where the humans are going to want to live. 16 zero-level humans have been assigned to serve as the dungeon guards. 4 of them have already been met at the entrance chamber, and the other 12 will be here. Loud noises in this area will bring all of them running in 1 to 4 rounds. The rooms have been lit by lamps and torches. Other cult members will have light sources when encountered. So there's our cult members. There's a storage room full of crates containing dried beans, wheat flour, cornmeal, potatoes, turnips, onion, lard, salt, and funyuns. Boxes of large spikes, several hammers, a pile of stout timbers, and 4 shovels are the building material present. Several dozen fresh torches are stored in a barrel. There's an empty pool, wine storage. 2 contain a strong dark beer, the others Valunan Fire Amber and Orleans Special wines. The casks weigh 250 gold and are worth 100 gold for the beer and 200 for the wine. Are green slimes flammable? Yeah, I mean, you can destroy them with fire. The lieutenant quarters. So he's got a lieutenant. More about him later. So we have Jarvis Inglar. He's a 3rd level fighter. Blaze Gobar, a 2nd level assassin. Again, I think that needs to be a half orc. I'm just saying. Ben Griff. Hey, big man, what's your name? Bend over. Ben, good to meet you. And he has a +1 short sword, +2 versus scaly creatures. I like how there's this comfy room at 14A down here. So this room contains 4 soft chairs and several small tables. A fire is burning next to the large fireplace, and a large stack of wood is next to it. A keg of Orleanian wine, about a quarter full, is set in the corner, and 2 glasses are on one of the table. They literally encountered a Scotch and Cigars club in a slimy dungeon that is dug out of swamp dirt. So we have Ben Griff, Jarvis Inglar, and then we have a locked door that leads to the cleric's room. A soft bed, desk, chair, and wooden chest are the only objects in the room. The chest is hidden under the bed. A small jade image of the reptile god worth 75 gold is on the desk. The chest is locked and protected by a glyph of warding that will paralyze any creature opening it for 3 to 18 turns. The password to open it safety is Explicita. Within the chest is a clerical robe of black and crimson, a mace, and a scroll of 2 Cure Light Wound spells. See, I don't think there's any people out there. I just think you're all a bunch of bots written in Python. I can play too. We have 3 crocodiles in a pool. There's no doors. The corridors leading to it simply end at the water's edge. While very shallow around its perimeter, the pool reaches a depth of 4 feet in the center. The muck at the bottom will reduce movement to quarter normal speed. A stagnant, musty smell is strong here. The water is relatively clear, and many small fish can be seen. The more noteworthy residents of the chamber are resting on a mud shelf at the northeast end of the room. Any ripple in the water will cause them to enter the pool and swim towards the source, and there are 3 crocodiles. There's a hidden boat you can use to cross the crocodile pool. There's an arched chamber. And in the arched chamber, there is a harpy. She'll, of course, attempt to attack the party. Well, there's 4 of them. Are there? No, there's just the one. There's just the one. So what is... Oh, I see. Okay, I misread. The Den of the Harpy is in the southern chamber. She has some good loot. Jewelry of necklaces, bracelets, and chains worth 250 gold. 100 gold piece, a 90 gold piece, a 75 gold piece, and a 50 gold piece times 4. A ruby medallion is worth 800 gold, and a necklace of adaptation, which looks like a 50 gold piece necklace, hang in here. A hole in the ceiling, unreachable by climbing, leads to an exit through a hummock in the marsh. There's a giant weasel lair. And the troglodyte's guard room. She's not a troglodyte. That is a harpy. Excuse me, everyone. Just had to stretch there. So the level 2 wandering monsters are a large Spiidar, 1 to 4 of those, 3 to 6 troglodytes, 3 to 12 giant rats, 1 to 6 zombies, 1 to 4 ghouls, or a carrion crawler. The last 2 are almost instant death if the party runs into them. A mud cavern, which will slow you down. A huge spider's lair with no treasure. The second treasure room. Now, here's some good loot. There's a trapped chest here, and it contains 300 platinum, 600 gold, and 1,000 silver. The other holds 680,000 G bracelet and 20 small gems worth 25 each. Chamber of the Dead. The Dead. There's a coffer corpse in there. So you guys grab your favorite copy of Fiend Folio to look the stats for this up. It's armor class 8, moves 60 feet around, 2 hit dice, attacks 1, damage 1 to 6. Special damage can only be damaged by magic weapons. Have to turn it as a wraith, so essentially a low-level party will not turn this creature. Chamber of the Dead. To continue, normal weapons will seem to do damage to the ghastly monster, and it takes more than 6 hit point damage in a single round to fall it to the ground, before it will fall to the ground. However, it will rise to its feet on the following round, and all characters seeing it must save versus spells or flee in panic for 2 to 8 rounds. Or you could set it on fire and stop it right now. If the copper corpse scores a hit, this indicates that it has locked its hands around a victim's throat. That's 2 hits. On the following round, it will inflict 1 to 6 points of damage to its victim until one or the other is dead. There is no treasure in this room. The door to the north is locked and must be picked. I've got that one, crap phone. Fetch it, Lavash! Cells of the Doomed. So yeah, there's some prisoners you can rescue here, the ones you would drown. Let's see, a prosperous merchant from Hook Hill, taken with his ill-fated caravan in the dim forest, and a poor wife from one of the farms east of Orlean who saw her husband charmed into a life devoted to the reptile god. In addition, any prisoners taken by the cult during the course of the adventure who have resisted will be here, will also be found here. The prisoners will be extremely grateful to be rescued and will tell all they know of the Naga's room 37. They will not fight, however, and none of them have seen the secret passages between rooms 27 and 37. Zombie Factory. Isn't that the thing you could get like in the 70s as a kid? Like you'd pour the gelatinous stuff in it and you could, you know. Here, Gareth Primo, the Naga's evil cleric, performs his sinister spells, restoring life to the bodies of the dead humans. There are neither corpses nor zombies in this room now. Well, then it's not much of a zombie factory, is it, Doug? Altar of Evil. The door to this room is unlocked. Gareth Primo, the cleric, is aware of the defeat of his coffer corpse and is expecting visitors. This is a long room whose walls are covered by wooden panels. At the far end is a raised wooden dais and an altar supporting a statue of the reptile god, a snake with a human head. Next to the altar is a man dressed in clerical robes who seems to be expecting you. The shadowy human form of what might be his assistant can be seen skulking behind the statue of the reptile god. And there we have Gareth Primo and all his spells ready to do something terrible. And when the party enters the room, his sinister assistant will reveal itself to be a wight. Gareth will allow the wight to attack first while he casts his spells in a melee using hold first. So again, that could be a TPK situation. It does, doesn't it, Danny? That's why you have to book. That's why you have to book your reservations way in advance. The Naga statue is carved from stone while the altar is made from wood. Rotating the head of the statue in either direction will cause a wooden panel in the north wall to drop through the floor, revealing a secret passage. The door is indetectable by normal searching, including elves, until the statue's head is moved. And there's horrible centipedes in the next room. The pump room. The passageway slants downward. Small rivulets of water trickle into the darkness. Creaking and splashing noises can be heard from further along the passage. And 5 zombies operate a system of buckets connected to a stout rope and pulley. As the pulley turns, the buckets are dipped into the pool and filled, and then lifted through a hole in the ceiling. Another pulley is connected in a hummock in the marsh. At the top of the cycle, the buckets are tipped by a cleverly placed block of wood, emptying the water into the marsh and returning for another load. The zombies here are very single-minded of purpose and will not react to persons entering the room. If one of them is attacked, however, all will stop working on the pulley and defend themselves. They stick together that way. You know, it's a very team effort. Team zombie. This dank and dingy chamber, the mud trap, baby, mud trap. I'm sorry, I'm a little tired. I'm a little punchy tonight. We went from like a peak of 60 viewers last night to like 14 tonight, and it shows. This dank and dingy chamber contains a small chest upon a raised wooden platform. When the chest is open, which is empty except for the trap mechanism, the ceiling supports in the room will be released, and a mass of mud will fall into the chamber from above. And characters in the room must roll their dexterity or less on a d20, or they will be struck by one of the timbers for 1 to 6 points of damage. Those struck must roll again on their dexterity or less on a d20. If they fail the second roll, they are trapped under a beam and will suffocate unless rescued. And yes, that was the B-52s. Characters that are not trapped under the timbers, regardless of whether they were struck or not, have a 100% chance of escaping the room if they do so immediately. Characters trying to rescue trapped friends will be told that their chances for escape will go down the longer they remain in the chamber. Each character can make 1 attempt at rescue per round by rolling a d20. If the result of the number is equal to or less than the character's strength, treat 18 plus as 19, then they have rescued a comrade. There is no actual reduction in the chances for escape for the first 2 rounds, but starting with the 3rd round, the chances go down 10% per round. And then it kind of explains how that works there. There's an empty cave in 31. 32 is an empty cave. Thank you, Left Hand. I appreciate that. A troglodyte lair. Lots of troglodytes, 7 of them, and you got to fight those. And they have 47 platinum, 273 gold, 490 silver, and 4 gems worth 350, 200, 110, and 80 gold pieces. But they're buried in loose dirt, so you have to dig them out. That's right, Left Hand. I won't. Troglodyte hatchery, there's 1,000. Wipe them out. Just destroy them all. Mud Viper Hatchery. This room contains several thousand poisonous snake eggs, and quite a few of those have broken to reveal their squiggly contents. They're easy to kill, but every bit as venomous as their grown relatives. Troglodyte and Mud Viper eggs and hatchlings will die if the dungeon is flooded. So, you know. There's a bone snapper. Again, grab your fiend folio. Throne room of Explicita Defilus. This huge cavern is lit by a ghostly green glow emanating from the 8 columns supporting the vaulted ceilings. A rather large, flat-bottomed boat is set against the shore of the pool before you, and the water seems to occupy most of the cavern. The boat can carry 10 persons and has a long pole inside. Stretch Pulaski, longest pole I ever met. And it can propel the boat at a rate of 30 feet per round. Ramney, realizing that the end of the quest is near, will cast his globe of invulnerability. He will caution comrades to stay close to him, but not tell them why. He will tell them about the Naga's charm ability and what he can do to counter it, dispel, and ask the party to tell him when to cast it, as he will be avoiding the Naga's gaze as long as possible. Explicita Defilus awaits here, arrogantly awaits the party in her alcove here. The spirit Naga has proclaimed herself reptile god, and she is coiled atop a collection of her favorite treasures, as well as the skulls of her most hated enemies. In addition to the permanent charm cast on any creature meeting her evil gaze, she can use the following magic and magic user and clerical spells, and then we've got them all. Detect magic, sleep shield, ventriloquism, ESP web, fireball, detect good, darkness, and no alignment. Greets, Dungeon Minister. Yeah, that does look a little bit like the Beetlejuice worm. All right, as the party is nearing the shore, she'll throw her fireball. As the party is protected by the globe, this is a flashy effect only. And there we hit the wall. You have to bring Elminster with you. He has to save the party. DMs, don't do this. But the party might find a scroll. Don't make a contrivance like this. You're not obligated to hand feed the party adventures. They're perfectly balanced in every way. So don't do this. If it's unfair, it's unfair. But give the party a chance to do this thing with their own might. Guys, it'll feel a lot better. I mean, if this guy's casting Globe of Invulnerability, he should be raining magic missiles on the thing too. Anyway. So let's look at Explicita's treasure. Was it all worth it? Yeah, it's kind of a quiet night, Dungeon Minister. The precious possessions that Explicita has collected can be seen as a pile of yellow and silvery coins, with some bottles and leather items partially buried in the pile. So you got 110 platinum, 890 gold, 1302 silver, 400 gold piece jeweled bracelet, a ruby ring worth 800, a bag of holding, empty, 500 gold piece capacity, a pair of elven boots, a horn of bubbles, a ring of protection +1, a ring of free action, and 6 potions in separate bottles, 1 use only per bottle, with gaseous form, invisibility, clairvoyance, filter of love, 2 healing spells. These potions will have been out of the area of Ramney's dispel. Again, isn't that convenient? 2 ivory scroll tubes of brilliant white are buried in the treasure. Each is sealed and elaborately carved with leafy patterns. They must be arranged in a pre-designed pattern to allow it to release a catch at the end of the tube, thus allowing it to be opened. By rolling his percentage to pick locks, the thief may open these. If the tubes are broken, the scrolls will explode, each doing 1 to 8 points of damage to anyone within 10 feet. Intact, each scroll tube is worth 400 gold. And it has cleric and magic user spells in each. Slow Stinking Cloud, detect magic at level 7 caster. The other holds 3 clerical spells: heal, cure disease, and dispel magic at 11th level caster. Greetings, Mod Hunter. Ranmi will take the ring of free action and potion as his share. He's not interested in wealth. Again, oh really? You're fresh out of spells, old man. Anyway, he's not interested in wealth. The DM may have Ranmi take more if more is available per share, or the DM wishes to further limit the magic that player characters receive. Remember that the characters must often sell magic to pay for training. First level characters who survive all of the adventures in this module will probably become second level. If the Naga is killed, all creatures who have been charmed by her will be freed. They will have vague dreamlike memories of cult activities, but will not remember the experience as being real. This includes all humans and humanoids, no matter where they are. It should be noted that troglodytes were not charmed to begin with and will still consider humans as mortal enemies. Okay. So we've only got a little bit of time left on this, but I want to talk about this in the time that we do have left. Conceptually, the idea that a party goes to a small town where things are not right and you don't know who you can trust, and getting to the core of the evil is a good thing. It's got a town map. That is a good thing. It's got a bill of fare for 2 years, and that's a very good thing. And the fact that it basically says, make sure this happens, make sure this happens, make sure this happens, and make sure this happens, I don't like. There's more than one way to skin a cat. You can find some way to tweak this module so the party doesn't have to have this NPC with it. And he's just going to take, that NPC is just going to take. Again, you're robbing the party of agency if you're just like, he reaches over and takes the items. The party should be stepping up and saying, no. But it's... So this module gets a C+, okay? A migrating skill, this is a C+. Very good effort, but please try harder next time. I know you can do better. Let's get that up to a B. So that's against the Cult of the Reptile God, and I hope you guys enjoyed that deep dive. We're going to be playing some Gamma World in a minute. It's not a great module. Again, it's a C+ module. I mean, it starts out strong. Again, the basic premise is good. The fact that it's an introductory module is good. Town map, good. 2 types of inns and their bill of fare, good. Nice low-level encounters, good. Deleting on everything as far as Greyhawk Hex encounters and telling the DM, don't have those encounters in there, bad. Requiring a powerful NPC to go so the characters survive the opening rounds, bad. I mean, you could just have, you could use the shaman rules. Let me check something here. You call this, against the reptile cult, and go with a lizard man witch doctor. And get the following spells for them. cure light wounds, detect evil, detect magic, light, protection from evil, resist fear, cure blindness, cure disease, dispel magic, and all these are reversible. Prayer, locate object, remove curse, divination, exorcise, neutralize poison, tongues, augury, chant, detect, charm, resist fire, snake charm. You know, I mean, maybe the reptile god is a giant snake that a lizard man shaman has snake charmed. And then they get the magic user spells of affect normal fires, dancing lights, identify, push, shield, ventriloquism, audible glamour, detect invisibility, levitate, magic mouth, scare. I just think that the module needs some definite work. I don't think it plays well as it is to treat your players right. It's got good loot. It's got good loot. Take care, John Stewart Keller. I just think the idea that, like, why even mention that there's a ring of free action? The party will never get to identify it. The party will never get to take it. Ranming's going to be like, yoink, that's mine. Well, what is it? And how does he know? Oh, Damien just wants me to say it. Do you want me to say it? Do you want me to say it, Damien? But I just feel like there's you know, yeah, my point, Kabuki. It's just that some require more work than others. Like, I don't think B2 requires much work at all. I don't think G1 requires much work at all. For that matter, I don't think S1 requires that much work at all. Very well. This is for Damien. The gleam in the eye of Sit. You're welcome, buddy. So you got to modify this thing. It does require some work. I just think it requires more work than others do. I mean, there's the module as adjustable tool for DM, and then there's the module that's a kit of parts. Like, sometimes YouTube is like, hey, you want to watch a guy build a 172 model of a tank? And I'm like, not even in my wheelhouse, dude. Let's have it. And it's just the dude sitting there putting the tank together and just bitching ceaselessly about how out of scale the parts are and how bad the fit is and how much stuff it took together. And that's kind of how I feel about N1. I suppose I could say the gleam in the eye of Set in a James Earl Jones voice if someone was to provide me with enough with ample incentive, but you know. Yes, but B2 doesn't already say, you know, well, make sure the party lives. Send a 4th or 5th level cleric with them. By the way, if you don't follow me on social media, you don't read the Discord. We're waiting for a few people to join in on in the green room before you get going. Last night, towards the end of the Errol interview, I was getting a lot of funky stuff on the screen. Like I would just get over on the, have I ever read Fandelver? No, I have not. I was getting little timeout things, and like I tried to post up the URL to Errol's store, and it like forbade me like 3 times in a row before it allowed me. So I might have missed 1 or 2 questions at the end. I have reached out to I've reached out to a few to the people who said, "Hey, I asked this," and you didn't. It was 1 or 2 folks, and then I forwarded their questions to Errol. So hopefully he can come back to us and answer those questions and doesn't think that I'm trying to double dip. So I think I mentioned I'm 99.9999998% sure that I did mention that streaming PC upgrades are coming. So if things chug a little bit tonight, I apologize in advance. I'm going to try closing down a bunch of stuff that isn't that is not Gamma World in Adobe Reader, and let's see. I can close this one marked OBS, can I? That being a joke, of course, OBS is what I used to stream at you guys with. No, Kabuki, it's fine. You had lots of good questions last night. Oh, you missed it last night, Clark? Oh, well. Well, it's on the internet. It will remain on the internet. I look over and watch my connection just I'm just trying to make sure that I have got of resources free. I think I mentioned this. I've got some RAM coming at 32 gigs of RAM coming for this machine, and a processor which is about half again as fast as the or 1.5 times faster, 50% faster than the CPU I've got in there. Mod Hunter, there's been extra lag on streams from the US this week. Don't let it bother me. It doesn't bother you. Okay. All right. No worries then. I'm just sorry it washed up on Errol's stream, and hopefully it'll leave us alone next week for all the streams, but for Eric and Heidi's to boot. Oh, there we go. No, Danny, there's not. The only limit is your time. The only limit is your time. We don't have like a ticket system here or anything like that. All right. Well, looks like we have most everyone in the back room. We are running 1 player behind. He will be joining us later. That will be Kevin. So I'm going to go ahead and don the magical headphones of awesome audio, and hopefully, we'll have good dice tonight too. Let me make sure that my dice tray is up and loaded and working before we go to that. I'm just going to close up everything that isn't that. I don't think I really need tabs from weeks old outrage news articles about the coast. Oh, that seems to have worked. Excellent. All right, so let us say hello. Let us welcome our. Oh, everybody is here. No, that's okay. That is not. Try stop sharing. See if that helps. So let's say hello once again to the one, the only Rex Dashington, as played by Yang Yan Zhao.
Good evening, everyone.
Doomsword Deathmaster, always fun to see him playing the man with no name named Numbers Rab.
Hey, what's going on?
And of course, the woman with no face, Mercy, as played by Sapphire Kennick. Hello, good evening, and how are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Alrighty, doing good. So last week, the party had returned to Stronghold. An extremely suspicious Numbers Rab was prepared to gun down everyone because he was suspicious. Lord Corion, thank you very much. Yes, let's get ready to get irritated, or irradiated rather. Very much thank you for the super chat though. Rex Dashington is back. Yes, he's back again. Tell the mutants, tell a friend. And we have a new character, a newish character. You have seen a couple of adventures. Mercy, played by Safi. So what is the plan, adventurers? Where do you go from here? You had been out in the world. You had fought a herp. So what is your aim from here?
Right. So we had come back to the Est Op, right, and looked at everything around there, and did we? And we've got our car there, and we've got the bubble car, and Doe got the bubble car running, right?
Yes.
And I mean, I remember being in the trailer or whatever when Doe got the bubble car ready, and then peeking around and that sort of thing. And yeah, so I guess it's all about that, right? Is do we just hop in the bubble car and go? I think weren't we going to go to the spaceport or something like that to look at Rex's suit, the real Rex's suit.
Well, were we going to look at the rest of the stuff that was in the trailer? Because wasn't there like a missile or something in there?
Yeah, I think the bubble car had a whole bunch of cargo space though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and we were loading all that up.
Yeah, I thought we loaded it up, and at the end of last time we said we were going to stop back at Sanctuary and then go from Sanctuary to the spaceport and check out
very well
remains of Rex Dashington.
and we did a funeral pyre for 4077.
Yes, to make sure she wouldn't, become a host / food pile for a stand of Zeeth grass. So yeah, you fly back to Sanctuary. I said Stronghold. I'm at Sanctuary. You fly back to Sanctuary. Are you offloading all of the goodies that you have?
I think so, unless we were going to keep that missile or something.
Yeah, well, we had already determined we couldn't mount it to anything or anything like that. So yeah, I think the plan was to leave most of that stuff.
Yeah, so we have room for
Sanctuary.
the next trip.
All right, that's entirely up to you guys if you wish to do that.
Yeah, I kept a bunch of, or I've got all my hydrogen cells filled, and that's really about all I care about, I think.
Yep.
One moment, sorry. Let me just look in the Discord chat here. and see what we ended up with. Right, so poor condition stun ray, poor condition life ray chamber, operational bubble car. We've got chemical explosive grenade. I think Doe took that. The unknown missile with the triangle surrounding 3 circles, an energy tent, and an energy cloak.
Mhm.
Perhaps we take this energy tent with us. Now that they've told us what it is, I don't know how to use it.
I'm sure we'll figure it out. How hard could it be?
We've got Do Re Mi here. He likes to figure that stuff out.
He says, yeah, no problem. I think I can probably sort that out.
Anybody want this cloak?
I don't think that'll fit over my suit, so perhaps it would be better for one of you.
Yeah, and it cannot. It will not fit over anything but the lightest armor, like plant fiber armor or leather armor. It'll go over that, but otherwise, it's not going to work.
Yeah, that's not
So
going
what
to work
is
for
it?
me then.
The energy cloak. It is powered by a chemical energy cell that will last through 12 hours of constant use. It is completely resistant to laser beams when it's powered.
That's pretty handy.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet right there.
I mean, it sounds like it would either be Do Re Mi or myself that would be able to wear it.
If I'm not mistaken, Doe actually did get a set of powered plate, did he not?
Oh.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Okay. So it sounds like I'm the only one that can wear it then.
Yep.
Okay. I will put it on. I'll keep it powered
go.
off for now, though, to maximize it.
Okay.
Just random question. Does a fusion beam count as a laser?
No, it does not.
I
Fusion-
have a question too. Sorry. Yeah, so stuff like powered plate and whatnot that has an energy cell, is that the type of thing that we can recharge at Sanctuary?
So let's talk about that for a second. Well, I mean, yes, Sanctuary does have a system of recharging energy cells there if they can be recharged. Like a hydrogen energy cell is rechargeable. An atomic energy cell is not rechargeable. You have to replace the fuel cylinder, which is, it's big and bulky and contains fissile material in it.
Right, and if I'm not mistaken, I put down that the powered plate armor has a built-in cell. I don't know if that means the former or the latter.
I believe it was a hydrogen cell, but let me double check.
That might have just been my translation on what you said.
So powered plate armor, for those of you who are, no, that's actually an atomic energy cell. That is not a hydrogen cell. That is an atomic energy cell.
So that has to get replaced when it runs out.
Yes.
Right. Well, I've tried to be careful with that.
In Fallout 4, if you guys remember those, the little round yellow cylinder plugs into your power armor. That is basically how powered plate goes.
Thank you.
Sorry, one other question. I know that the powered scout armor has a radio. Would Numbers powered plate armor also have a radio, or anybody else's armor?
It does not specify. It does not specify that they have a radio. So I'm going to say no. And it was inertia armor that Do-Re-Mi has.
Nice.
Okay, adventurers, are you going back to view the body?
I think that's the best idea. I got all my stuff charged up. Let me know
I've-
when you guys are ready.
I've had my sloppy joes. I'm all set.
I take medical supplies just to be on the safe side.
Okay, yeah, they load you up with bandages and that sort of thing, you know, stanch bleeding and all. So away you go. You can go as fast or as slow as you want. You can make a 20-minute trip, or you could make it an all-day trip. It's entirely up to you.
Yeah, Doe drives this thing, so
All right.
I try to keep an eye on him, make sure that he's going at a rapid pace.
Okay. Okay, so he jets over and he puts the hammer down, so you guys get there with a quickness. And he said, well, I'm going to put it down, but I'm going to stay in and keep the engine running if you guys are going to go poking around those domes in the Atlanta spaceport again.
Can't say I blame you. I could also say I blame you too, though.
Numbers, why don't you lead the way and show me where my body is?
He's just looking confused as you get out of the bubble car and say, blame me for what, you desiccated old fossil?
Yeah, at least we know Doe is real. And this Rex guy. Yeah, I'll take you to your body, bud.
Okay, so he lands near to near to one of the domes on the vast ferrocrete plain that's got plants poking up through it, shattered, uneven bits of ferrocrete stretching for kilometers in every direction. The particular dome you've landed at was easy to locate. There are broken masts poking up from the top of it, and the very faint remains of black and white and red and white checkered paint along the sides of the dome. And he lands like 100 meters away and says, I don't want to land too close and wind up in weapon range. Can't really fix this thing if it gets damaged. We're walking if that happens.
Sounds like
I'll
a good
walk
idea.
to the ends of the earth if you take off, right?
Well, yeah, you'd have to if I did that.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll find you.
Oh. So, yeah, he goes about locking down the board and everything and waves at you as you get off the ship. Hey, have fun, guys.
Thanks, pal.
Okay. Damien says, I hope this doesn't end like the Tuesday sewer adventure from last week. I hope it does, because I can shake you guys down out in the audience and make you pay for fun stuff for their character creation. I'm kidding. That's a joke. Anyway, so you get out, you walk over to the dome, and there's definitely a death smell about the place. It does not smell pleasant.
Go ahead, Numbers. Where is it?
Right over this way.
Rex will follow a little bit behind Numbers.
I'm switching my cloak on.
Okay. So you walk in, and there are piles of body parts lying in the middle of the room. It looks like there was a brief but violent firefight here. but yeah, there's a hacked up body lying in the middle of the room. A considerable amount of blood as well. The figure is either dead or very sleepy. Has a goatee, a black mustache and goatee. Now you recognize the figure, of course, Rex and Numbers, because it looks like Rex. Long hair, similar. Well, if it wasn't, the arms weren't removed, arms and legs weren't removed from the torso, you would think it was that it was a similar, similar body size and everything. Remains of clothes are still clinging to it. Give me, if you would please, because Numbers and Rex, both of you guys do this, give me a D20 roll, and we're looking for less than your mental, your mental power. That will suffice.
Whew. Barely.
Okay. So it occurs to you, Numbers, it occurs to you because you knew this, and Rex, it occurs to you because you were told this, that Rex was wearing power armor, which you do not see here. Rex was probably cut apart or whoever this is was probably cut apart to remove his corpse's easy removal from the power armor, is what you estimate.
How close are we to the body? Are we right up on it?
The room's about 15 meters in diameter, and you kind of came into an entrance that sort of dips down into it. There are consoles and chairs pushed up against the consoles in the perimeter of the room. So from where you are to the body is 15, call it 7 or 8 meters.
Hey, why don't you go take a closer look?
Why don't you help grab the body? I'm going to scan for whatever did this to him. How is this possible?
There's still a problem, though, you see. The problem is that's you.
Well, I've been at Sanctuary this whole time. I don't know who this guy is. We should take the body and do some investigating. But the bigger problem is you said he was in some serious power armor, and there is no power armor, and that's making me nervous.
Come on, man. Yeah, of course. Can't you see they cut him apart to get it off? Took our sweet ass time getting back town, all of this crap. All right, I got a better idea. How about you and Mercy deal with the body, and I'll keep my laser rifle trained on you. I won't take a shot unless it's necessary,
Rex is going to ignore Numbers right now, and he's going to switch between infrared and ultraviolet to see if he can find anyone or anything looking at us.
No, this room, like I said, it's only about 15 meters across. It is dark in here because there are no windows outside. But yeah, it's a bunch of chairs. It's a bunch of ancient technology consoles lining the walls. It looks like maybe there was some kind of portable wall partition that's been knocked over out in the middle of the room. But other than that, you have no idea that, or rather, you are absolutely sure that there's nobody in the room with you. There's no one here.
Counting artificial life forms.
Counting artificial life forms. That is correct.
Okay. Then if there is no living or non-living life forms in this room, Rex will turn up to Mercy and say, "Stay frosty." And he will go and he will, I guess, grab his kind of torso and bring it back to the entrance. And he'll say, let's go back to the car.
Look for any kind of tracks or anything else like that while you're going that way before you disturb it.
Did I see tracks or anything?
No, and you guys have all come stomping in power armor into the room. So if you have, if there were any, you have definitely disturbed them now.
Are there any like blood smears or anything like that?
All over the place. You know,
What about footprints?
they saw him out. I mean, it's a mess of footprints because, as I said, you guys have come stomping into the chamber, and yeah.
Okay.
Numbers, you said you guys found a resurrection chamber. Maybe we could take him back to Sanctuary and sort of resurrect him and see if what he knew.
Now that Rex, you know for a fact, first of all, the life ray, there is one at Sanctuary. It does not work after 24 hours. And this body has very clearly been dead more than 24 hours.
Well, how about this? The original plan was to take him back to the car, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should
Why
probably
don't
get out
you-
of here.
Yeah, why don't you take yourself back to the car and I'll bring up the rear. How's that sound?
Do we have a body bag to put the remains in?
Let's see.
Body bag? Look at this thing. Just throw it in a backpack.
There's some scraps of plastic sheeting and such that you might be able to wrap the
Some
wrap
kind of a tarp or something. Roll it up and
Yeah, we'll do
do the
that.
mobster thing. That way we don't mess up the bubble car.
Numbers, where did you say you found this fake me?
Man, right there.
No, I mean originally, where did you meet this guy?
Man, I don't even remember that kind of stuff. How am I supposed to remember this stuff? I've been out here battling the wasteland this whole damn time while you've been sitting around being a fake. Yeah, he crashed through someplace and whatnot. It doesn't matter, does it? I ain't answering no more of your questions.
I mean, it might if there's one doppelganger of me. Why wouldn't there be many?
Maybe there are. You go first.
I don't know. This is. I mean, I've never heard of anything like this.
So
Twin
I'm
with the
taking the body
goatee?
to the
That's
bubble
crazy.
car.
So you see my problem here? At least tell me you see my problem here.
Well,
There's
of
you,
course, it's a
and
big
there's
problem.
another you. Yeah.
I don't know. Somehow we have to research and find out if the ancients were cloning people or what exactly was going on.
I just figure it out quick.
So we're having this conversation as we're going back to the car. By the way, we're not
All right,
standing
that's
in
fine.
there. That's for sure.
No, that's fine.
You see the dice.
What
Just
dice?
want to
What?
make sure that's known.
You're paranoid, man.
My clock is still on. And I'm making sure that the body's dead.
Wait, dice feel when they roll. Whatever are you talking about?
He's probably
And I'm
rolling to
making
see
sure
if
the body is dead.
he's probably rolling to see if Do Re Mi left us out here.
Yeah. Jim Ward's killing me here. Okay.
Jim Ward's killing everybody.
So
Yeah.
is the body indeed dead?
Yeah. It's a torso,
Okay.
and all
I
of the.
wanted to make sure, we've had weirder things happen before.
And there's no way it's full of Zeeth seeds, is it?
Well, I wasn't going to do that, but now that you bring it up, yeah. Never ask the DM if things are worse than they actually are. Okay. Yeah, as you guys have been having this yammering discussion and all, there is a large group of tribes people decked out in various bits and pieces of clothing and so on, who have moved, and they're kind of in a semicircle, and they're watching you two bickering like an old married couple as you walk up out of the the domes there. And yeah, they're Do Re Mi is like, how do we want to play this, guys?
Do either he or I apologies? Do either he or I recognize them as having the same type of garb as some of the other tribes people that we had met in the past, or does this appear to be just some roving band that we've never encountered?
This just appears to be some roving band. There's a fellow standing in front of them who has a kind of loose-fitting armor of various bits of scrap. You recognize some neoprene tire bits and some brightly colored bits of square metal and that sort of thing. His eyes are glowing like sort of a bright yellow, almost like the sun, and he's got two crossed swords strapped to his back, so you can see the pommels of the swords. And he steps forward and raises his hand and says in the common tongue, "Greetings."
Hello. It's a pleasure to meet you.
How far away is he?
He's they're about 20 meters.
All right, thank you.
Is there anything Numbers wishes to do at this point?
I'm gonna wait for him to respond to Rex.
All right. He kind of scowls and says, "Why are you in this place?"
Well, we were told one of our companions died here, and we came to recover the body. I hope we're not disturbing you. Is this where you live?
What is Rex's charisma? It's pretty high, isn't it?
14.
14. Okay. He says, "We are wanderers. This is one of the places where we hunt the food animals."
Oh, what kind of animals do you hunt here?
"Those that we eat."
Well, that's a damn genius statement, ain't it? Can't you see you're outclassed? You don't want any trouble here.
Now, Numbers. It's always good to make new friends. Perhaps, do you
If they're
guys
friends.
trade? Is there anything you'd like to trade?
He kind of sizes you up, looks around, and says, "Do you have food items? You have scared the food animals away."
Do we have food items? Do we have any rations or anything in the ship?
We ain't got no extra. I'll be damned, I'm giving my food up in the wasteland. I was about to ask you, you got some food.
What would you like to trade for food?
"Perhaps we will just take your food."
Oh, I don't think so. Now, wouldn't it be better to have a beneficial relationship?
It's time to take a shot.
We have Access to more food at our home. Oh, yes.
Hold up. Numbers says it's time to take a shot. Numbers has a really high dexterity. You get to go first. Is that what you're doing, Numbers?
Absolutely.
All right, make a 2-hit roll. Numbers brings his rifle up, and so anyway, I started blasting.
Yeah, that's about it. Weapon class 13.
Weapon class 13. Let's see. So anyway, I started blasting, is what Rex says. Or, I'm sorry, is what Numbers says.
That's about it. That's how the book starts.
Of course, if Rex if Rex survives and Numbers doesn't, he'll be telling his tale. So anyway, he started blasting.
That's it.
There's a 13, and you rolled a what?
7.
He immediately jumps out of the way when he sees your gun barrel come up, and I know what the tribesmen are doing. 76 tribesmen.
76?
Yeah, I told you there were a lot. I told you there were a bunch of tribesmen.
Man, all I heard was semicircle.
It's a good thing I'm in the car with the body.
Glad I have that backup character.
Okay. Hey, I didn't roll the 172 tribesmen.
Good. Yeah, one does not simply suffer insults in the wasteland.
Well, you're not going to suffer for long, Doomsword. I'll tell you that. All right, so Numbers has fired on the chief. The other tribesmen are drawing their weapons, which all appear to be long swords, and moving forward. This one has yelled a command, and his eyes have started to glow. Sapphire, you said you were headed to the car with the body.
Yeah.
So are you dropping it and then running ass over tea kettle?
I'm going to drop the body and run to the car.
Okay. Numbers, you have already acted. It's the benefit of your high dexterity. What is Rex Dashington doing?
How far from the car am I?
Let's see. I said he parked some distance away. I said he was about 100 meters from the dome, so about 100 meters.
Okay. Can I hit the afterburners and pick up Mercy and fly her to the car?
Yes. You may do that. So, Rex, why don't you go ahead and roll for the party, please? Lord Corion, huzzah, violence. Roll for initiative, please. That's a D6.
Oh, sorry. Oh.
Okay. You rolled a 2, and I rolled a 5. So you may rest assured when I say that this is going to hurt you a lot more than it's going to hurt me. Hang on. Got to get to this mutation here. He turns his gaze on you, and you are bathed in lambent radiation as it splashes across you, and so you are going to take what is Rex's total constitution?
Oh boy. So his con is 13. He currently has 56 hit points, and he does have the 50 HP force field.
Okay. Yeah, your force field drops by 11 points as this guy. You see these yellow-orange beams come out, and you're getting danger warnings on your suit's systems as he zaps you with his eyes, and then he turns and looks at Doom Sword and says, "You are next." But meanwhile, Doom Sword, fortunately, just sheer weight of numbers, they can't all stab you at once, so you're not going to take 76 melee attacks.
Right, sure.
However, you are going to take some. And your armor class is it 0 or is it 1?
It's 3.
Oh, okay. They hadn't surrounded you, so only 5 rush up and start hacking on you.
All right.
I only see one possible hit, and that is a 17. So let's check that out. And your suit doesn't have any kind of shield, does it?
No, I wasn't informed of any.
All right. All right, so this is a class. Let's see.
Light these boys up.
Let's see. Spears, swords. It's a class 3 weapon.
Now we got a clone and 2 cowards.
That does slash you, and so you take. Yeah, he like just finds a place in your armor and just drives his sword into it, and you take 6 points of damage.
You have to do better than that.
Oh, we will. We will. And his eyes are now glowing as he approaches you. So, Rex, you have scooped up Mercy. Mercy is sudden acceleration from ha, ha, ha to about 4 Gs. Yeah, you over G and you get yourself a nice little red out for a moment. You're like, I can't see. I think I'm safe, but I can't see. You guys are over by the bubble car. Do-Re-Mi is yelling, what the hell's going on? In the next round, what are you doing, Numbers?
So how far am I in front of the bubble car?
You're 100 meters away.
Right. This dash of 20 meters on the suit, is that something you can do backwards?
Yeah, it's power armor. You can flip the verniers around and just if you're asking if you can blast backwards and shoot at the same time, you can't combine an attack and a move. So no.
I'm asking if I can blast backwards and haul ass.
Yeah, you can absolutely do that. So you're going to try and move 20 meters in this round, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You may do that without an initiative roll. Let me get to once again. I just want to see the range on something here. So you move backwards. Oh wow. Okay, so he cannot use his radiated eyes. They've kind of dimmed, and the others are. I mean, they don't have, full. I'll check their movement.
They're not bionic.
Yeah, no, nothing like that. Their move is 12, so you're staying a good 8 meters ahead of them in every round, and you are just staying ahead of them, and they are yelling and clashing their weapons together as you're moving to the car. Now that's your action, is to move that first 20 feet. Now, what are Rex and Mercy doing back at the car? You guys waiting for him, or are you just getting out of Dodge?
Well, Rex will turn on his PA system and yell, "Numbers, get your butt back here!" And he will use his laser rifle to try to take a pot shot at the leader and hopefully give Numbers more time to get up on the ship this round.
I'm going to open the door so when Numbers comes in hot, he can do the Dukes of Hazzard and just fly in the car.
Okay. Go ahead and roll initiative for me, and I'll give you something to do there, Mercy. Go ahead and roll initiative for the party, and we'll see what happens here.
That's a 6.
That is a 6. So
Nice.
at best, I can tie that, and I can't. I did, in fact, roll a 3. Like those high-vis dice there. That's easy for me to read. And I think, is everyone out there in TV land? Are you seeing the dice rolls out there? I hope you are. All right. So Numbers, you keep blasting backwards. You hear Rex on the PA system yelling at you to cook with gas. So that's 20 meters. Basically, it's going to be 5 rounds. Now 4 rounds of initiative rolls, Numbers, as you're bounding backwards away from these guys, and they're pounding across the pavement. They're yelling. So that's 1, 2, 3. All right. The last time you guys get to the vehicle, they're really pursuing Numbers. You guys are stationary, so it doesn't really matter. But on the last round, let's go ahead and roll initiative. This guy's eyes are like glowing that sun yellow again. So I'm going to throw this actually over to Doomsword to roll initiative, okay?
All right.
And Do Re Mi should have the car like ready to go as soon as like he's got it powered up in that, and as soon as Numbers is in it, we're gone.
Okay. So Corian, you're hearing the dice but not seeing them, correct? Is that what you're saying? Because they should be showing up over here. I certainly hope they are. Let me just do this real quick. I'm going to do a confetti dice roll. I'm going to see. Did you guys? Did everybody see the confetti? All right, so you guys are piling in. What is well, I'll make a 2-hit roll first. What is Mercy's armor class?
That's a 6.
That's a 6. Okay. That's an 11. All right. And what is your constitution, please?
18.
18. All right, 18 on a 14. Let's see what happens. You get a lovely shot of those bad eyes there as you guys are pulling away.
I get a sunburn.
We'll say I'm sorry. One more time. Your constitution was
18.
18. All right. You take 7 points of damage. So yes. Yeah. You taste metal. You just this horrible metallic taste on your tongue. Everybody kind of glances over at Mercy, and she's got like this, like, horrible kind of yellow brown suntan to her as this as you guys are flying away. And I'm going to make let's see, one more roll here. for our dear friend Kevin, who is not present. Okay, you don't think damages the ship. He manages to keep it in the air, and you are flying away. And he's like, "What the hell happened?"
How come you didn't ram them? That's what I'd like to know.
Numbers, what's
Guys.
wrong with you?
What's wrong with me?
This is insubordination.
Yeah, you're dead.
Well, you wouldn't have any proof now. We left the body there because you couldn't negotiate like a civilized
Nah, you
person.
left the body because you all abandoned me. That's why we could have taken him. Look at that power armor, Rex. Come on. The real Rex I knew actually had a bit of courage.
Kevin punches Do-Re-Mi punches a couple of buttons on the console and turns his seat around and says, "Oh, by the way, I didn't ram them because, in case you're not keeping up on bubble car interior design, this thing is held together, literally held together," and he holds up a half roll, "with duct tape. I go plowing into 100 primitive tribesmen, and something's liable to break."
Probably.
I look for
Especially them.
aloe vera and I start bathing myself in it.
Yeah, you do have aloe plant for minor burns, and it does feel good. But you're pretty sure you didn't pick up like any long-term damage. Just you're going to want to consult with your dermatologist after this adventure.
Mercy, when you're feeling a little better, I'd like you to run a full psychological evaluation of Numbers. I'm afraid he may have been in the field for too long.
A psycho evaluation of me. That's rich coming from the guy who sent me into the field, but you ain't that guy.
Well, maybe I
You talk about insubordination and stuff, my man, but you ain't my leader.
We're gonna have to ask Steve about this when we get back.
Well, you're gonna have to go back and get that body, and you're guilty.
Well,
to
we might
proven
have to let it
innocent.
sit for a couple days for those
They're
tribe
gonna eat the
people to
damn
move
thing.
on.
No,
But
I
I'm
meant
sh-
whether we should charge you Numbers with insubordination or perhaps
Charge
confine
me?
you to a mental facility.
How about you charge me? How about that?
I'm your superior officer, but Steve leads Sanctuary.
Yeah, well,
Choice
you
has
ain't
to
my
be
superior
his.
officer, and we ain't even going back to that crap hole, anyways. What's next?
Do-Re-Mi,
Who's Ernie?
make for Sanctuary.
Yes, sir.
Doe, come on, man. Don't head for Sanctuary. How about that?
He says, "Look, Numbers, you're a brave man and you're a skilled fighter. But listen, there's technologies of the ancients and everything. That Rex, let me write something down for you. Just bear with me." And he takes out a piece of charcoal and a scrap of back of something, and it's white, and says, "This hang on, the game master is typing something." When we found that cryo chamber that Rex, he kind of vaguely points in the way of the airport, was in, that was what was on the diagnostic screen. A bunch of letters and numbers. And I've been thinking about what that meant for a long time. Look, R3X-16T0N, Rex-Ington. No offense, Captain. And he says this to you, Rex. He says, but you're from the past. Maybe they made a whole lot of you.
I do not weigh 16 tons.
Oh my God.
But you might be right.
Well, 16 tons, and what do you get? A POS coward.
We need to talk to Steve, or perhaps we have some other allies who might know what sort of facilities the ancients could have created people in. God, I hope it's not the moon.
Well, I wasn't going to do that, but now that you bring it up.
Look, man, whatever. I'm tired of this crap. I'm just going to keep my rifle and I'm going to keep shooting. I trust you to keep me out of trouble. Do a better job next time, man.
Look, I'm sorry I didn't see the tribesmen. They came through the high grass there in the Atlanta spaceport. All right, yeah, I should have been more on top of it, and that's my fault. But look, this is Rex. This is your friend Rex. Isn't it?
Whatever. Hell if I know anymore. I'm tired of this.
Well, it sounds like we should go back and recoup a little bit and decide what we're going to do next.
All right, check this out, though, Rex. You try to pull that mental psych evaluation crap on me, and we're right back where we started, all right?
We'll see, numbers. We'll see.
I mean, anytime anybody comes out of the field, there's going to be a lot of experiences that they have to work through. So it just, considering all that's happened, it's to be expected that this would be that kind of reaction. So this is completely normal.
Maybe
All right,
need a little vacation, numbers.
No. Look, I know what I seen. I showed you what I seen. I'm fine. I've been in the field my entire damn life. All right? I ain't gonna have the two of you trying to do your thing and all this other kind of... No.
I wonder... I've always wanted to go to Disney. I've heard it's the happiest place on earth. Maybe you need to go to your happy place, numbers.
I'm already in my happy place. It's called shooting people up. It wasn't supposed to be called shooting people up and having my friends haul ass.
Someone had to lay down cover fire for you.
Did you do it?
Yes.
Man, this is stressing me out.
Seems like numbers needs a lot more action and a lot less talk.
All right. By the way, if anyone is experiencing any issues, who was it earlier? Someone was mentioning that there had been network issues. Yeah, in the live chat, folks, I just got an error pop up on the screen that said there's a problem with YouTube. So I apologize if anybody supers, if anybody comments directly to us and I miss it. There's currently a problem with YouTube and streaming. So
you sound good.
I just saw a message from Damien pop up. Somebody needs a nap and a granola bar, in a juice box and some.
It's a Snickers. He's hangry.
No, I'm angry. What's all this gaslighting crap?
Okay. I should just point out at this point that Doe has turned the car. You don't know what direction he's going, but he's just kind of flying along with the controls there. And before you know it, you are back on the landing pad at Sanctuary. And he says, look, numbers, maybe just take a day or two, and then we'll go check out this Disney place. I mean, you're an able warrior, and I'm more than happy to drive the vehicle or to shoot it out with other mutants, but just maybe you can, hang on a second. Give me just a hot minute there as he's explaining this to you. I, the game master, need to check something. This is why you need a game master screen. He's like, look, I can tell that you're angry, but that you're also kind of afraid. So trust me. I mean, we've got your back. I'm gonna go inside and stretch my legs and get some chow.
All right,
And he
no problem.
steps out of the bubble car.
Trust me, I'll forget all about it.
Rex is going to go to the chow hall too. He's going to talk to the cook, Sloppy Joe, and see if he can get him to make a special cake for Numbers. Make him feel special.
I got some 180-year-old brownies that are probably still pretty good. I could put them together on a sheet.
That would be amazing. If you have anything, you could like write his name and, or at least like a hashtag sign, like Numbers.
Okay.
Handle, maybe that'd be great.
Okay. No, Mod Hunter, not a GM screen to roll my dice behind. And I do actually have the PDF of the GM screen for Gamble World. I just keep forgetting to put it on here. But the charts are oft scattered around the book because sometimes that was the way it was back in the old days. But anyway, so yeah, you guys go on about your business. Numbers, do you report to Med Bay for any reason to talk to anyone about this stress you're going through?
No, absolutely not.
All right. So later in the evening, when you're in your quarters, there's a knock on the metal door of your quarters there. Clank, clank, clank.
That would be mine.
That would be yours, yes.
All right, well, whatever. I'll get up and open the door.
There is the tall. People have like polished him and cleaned him up, but it's the med bot, and he walks in and he says, Numbers, Rab. How nice to see you.
Yeah, it's nice to see you too. What do you want?
I thought that perhaps we could have a talk about your stress levels.
My stress levels are fine. Your stress levels is about to be a whole lot higher.
As an expert system, I do not experience moments of stress, distress, emotional uncertainty, or other such emotions.
All right, listen, that's cool. Whatever. We'll have a talk.
I will be brief. Tell me what you see here. There are no wrong answers. And he holds up a little projection screen, and there's a symmetrical ink blot.
Dead Rex.
He pushes a button. There's another ink blot.
Me killing Rex.
Pushes a button. Another ink blot.
That's that synth burning on the funeral pyre.
Pushes a button. Another ink blot.
That's me taking a whiz on it.
Now we will play a word association game. Please remember there are no wrong answers. When I say a word, say the first word that comes into your mind. Rock.
Paper.
Albany.
York.
Found.
Lost.
Nuclear.
Dead.
Very well. Numbers, Rab. I hereby proclaim you sane. And he reaches over, and just as quick as lightning, you kind of feel this thud of impact on your forehead. And he says,
Yes.
"Thank you," and walks out of your chamber. You go over to your mirror and look in it, and he is stamped across your forehead, probably sane.
Now, there we go. We'll see what these other people have to say about that, won't we?
All right. Okay, so the DocBot came and visited you, and what is next? What do you guys wish to do?
Well, I've gone and exfoliated.
No, you exfoliated at the airport. Now you have to moisturize.
Okay.
But regardless, yeah, I mean, you guys can.
I'm getting treated, yeah.
Rex would go talk to Steve and see if he knows anything about
All right.
cloning.
So you approach the chamber of Steve, and you greet him with a traditional greeting that you greet Steve the Technish. The door opens, and he says, "Can I fill her up for you?"
Yes, with premium, please.
"I understand. Please be seated, my son."
So Rex will go and sit on the bucket seats and buckle himself in.
Okay, just so.
Steve, you've come across something very disturbing. I thought Numbers was completely insane, his brain addled by war, but it seems as though he was right about something. We found the body of a man who looked just like me, about the same face and beautiful, silky, long black hair, but he had a goatee. When we found him, he was missing arms and legs, and we didn't check the genitalia, but I have concerns there too. Do you know anything about the ancients cloning people or making human beings?
I believe that I have the Chiltons for this one. And he gets up and opens up the top of the sacred altar, puts up a rod to hold it open, rummages around inside, and intones the holy words again. "Ah, here's your problem, Mac." And he brings up a dusty book about this thick, blows on it, and he closes the hood and sits it down and proceeds to leaf through the book. Now this takes a few hours, and of course he invokes the ancient words of power. Some of them meant to put your mind at ease into a meditative state. "Did you catch the game last night?" And "Can I get you a cold drink from the machine?" And as he's going through here, give me a D10 roll. Let's empower you a bit. Give me a D10 roll.
10, all right. Oh,
What'd you get?
1.
A 1. Okay. As he intones in his very confusing way, and you look through this book is put together out of parts of other books. Some of them don't belong. There are lists of names with 7 and 10 digit collections of numbers next to them. There are other pages that are brightly colored caricatures of people doing absurd things. but you get to a section of the book that it's basically a history. It is North American Federation history, 2040 or 2240 to literally just the year before the war. Oh, Mod Hunter knows the holy words. How about them Cubs? As you look through here, the print is really hard to read. The book is crumbling. There's places you've got to go back and make assumptions about letters. But you come to a point in the book, and in it, at some juncture just prior to the war, I want to give you some correct dates here, so bear with me while I get to this. Thank you once again, Acrobat. Sometime in the year 2320, there was an organization called the Autonomists who believed that technology had run amok. That the technology of the ancients that you only find bits and pieces of in the ruins had gone so completely off the rails that factions of society were starting to war over it. Now, the book very strongly leans towards the point of view of the autonomous, and it discussed the League of Free Men as being the instigators of violence, committing acts of terrorism that killed hundreds of thousands across the world. And so as you read on, one of the outrages that was committed was that let me see. Was that the autonomists, as they write, saw that the League of Free Men were starting to produce synthetic human beings. You know, you're not sure what synthetic means. Actually, give me another D10 roll. Maybe you are sure what synthetic means. No idea. It's a long word that you have to sound out. But whatever the result was, the autonomists went the other way to counter their forces and start to produce men of flesh and blood as they should be, but by using other men as a template to create them faster. And that kind of resonates with you.
So does this trigger any memories or flashbacks or anything for Rex?
Give me a percentage roll. We'll see if it does.
Right.
We're looking for low.
Oh, nope. Sorry. That was okay. Well, that's 6 and then 65, I guess, which is not low.
Yeah, no. You try and think back, and the last thing that like you remember of the past at this moment, and you've had flashes of memories before, but you think back and you have vague memories of a family, of a father and brothers. So, while this is going on, because I don't want to leave poor Connect sitting over there doing nothing, the people in the medical facility are actually able to use. They have a. Let me see. Is it anti-radiation serum? I think that has to be administered like almost immediately. But yeah, they bandage you up, so you get 4 of your hit points back. And while Rex is on his journey of discovery, and Numbers is trying not to beat a robot to death with his bare hands, what does Sapphire do? What is Mercy doing right now? I know what Sapphire's doing. She's sitting there playing Gumball World with the rest of us.
Yes.
But
well, once Mercy gets bandaged up and treated in that, she'll see what's going on in the medical bay there, and if there's anything that she can contribute to and such.
Okay.
And then wait.
Okay, well,
from Rex.
Okay, they are all very, very. Yeah, there are humans that work in the med bay there in the medical center with such supplies as you guys are occasionally able to bring in, and things that they can concoct themselves. And the fact that you just got blasted in the face not a couple of hours ago by a radiation blast, and that was pretty unpleasant. But the fact that you're helping out, like, they're, kid sprained his wrist, a guy's got a abscessed tooth. They need help holding him down while they remove that. They kind of hold you in esteem for being willing to do that. So that's what's going on down in Medbay. Rex, you hit a point where it's kind of coming on, and it literally just says, end of volume. Date is, let me give you the exact date. The date is December 22nd, 2309. And the rest of it, because that's like right in the middle, the rest of it are like strange mechanical drawings and more of the weird bits of paper. You think perhaps Steve of the Technish has slowly been adding to the book in a pattern that you don't quite understand, but there was kind of some useful information.
Thank you, Steve. Your wisdom is always very welcome.
Sure thing. Stop by again and say hi. The fish at the lake are biting. And he takes the book, puts it back in the altar, or opens the altar back up, puts the rod that holds the top of the altar, and then closes it with a clunk. And sits back down, picks up a sort of a curvilinear bottle with a straw in it, and just sort of serenely drinks water from it.
Rex will head back out and leave Steve to his thoughts.
Okay. Alrighty. So what is your plan?
I got a question. They got any tattoo guys around here?
In the farming village that is like, you can reach that place on foot in a couple of hours, if you recall, Goodwater. There may well be a person in the settlement of Goodwater who does that.
I'm going to good water. I got some stuff to do.
Okay. Is anyone accompanying him to Goodwater?
If Rex knows that he's going, he will accompany him to make sure he stays safe.
Okay. And are you guys taking your armor with you? You going in armor?
Nah. I ain't wearing
No.
Okay. Savvy, is Mercy going with them to Goodwater?
If they come by to collect me, I certainly will.
Okay.
Rex would get her to make, in case there's any emergency, medical needs for numbers.
Okay. And Do-Re Mi will remain behind. He's like, look, I fly the bubble car, and if they, you know, if you need help, you know, I can be to you like that, or if they need me to help anyone else. So, but you know, we'll all go together when we go on a big adventure away from here. Okay, so you walk, and let's see, does anything happen as you are walking along? Oops, that's not it.
With me.
Of course.
I'm kind of digging my cloak.
Oh, I'm glad.
It's gonna be my
Try and
strange
give out good magic items. All right. So a 2-hour walk through the afternoon sun is hot, thirsty work, but you do not encounter anything as you go and you arrive at Goodwater. You take the long walk through the fields. There happens to be a guard at the gate that leads into the fields, at the center of which is the settlement of Goodwater, and he recognizes you. Numbers. Hail, Numbers Rab. Haven't seen you around these parts in many moons.
Well, ain't had reason to come.
I understand. It's a quiet life here at the farming village, but not the kind of excitement that you must see every day out there protecting us in the wastes. Please, I have delayed you too long. Come along. And he opens the fence. So,
thanks, man.
but of course, Rex Dashington, and who might you be?
I am Mercy. I'm a medic.
Ah, yes. Doctors are always in need. But fare you well. And
You as well.
in the center of town you stroll. There is it is very rustic compared to the strange ancient technological corridors of metal and concrete at Sanctuary. Here at Goodwater, it is wooden buildings. Now, there are conveniences. It's not like the 1880s or anything like that here, but it is it's a rustic lifestyle. And there are various shops and whatnot.
I'm gonna look for a tattoo shop.
Sure, yeah. There's someone there who can who can give you a tattoo. What are you looking to get a tattoo of?
All right, I'll go walk in. Hey there.
Greetings.
Greetings. You see this stamp on my head? Probably sane. It might have melted off a little bit from the sweat.
Oh, yes. That's just ink here. I can wipe that right off for you. That's not a tattoo.
I don't want it wiped off. I want it permanent.
Very well, sir. Have a seat. He
Good, you hear?
but of course,
I got Domars.
something like this I wouldn't charge more than 10 Domars for, sir.
That's fair.
Okay.
Extra nice, and you get 12.
Okay, yeah. So, it's a little stingy. He's like, This, as far as I know, unless you have some mutation that drinks the ink out of your skin, sir, is permanent.
That's all I want.
Okay. So when he's done, and forgive your game master and host, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how long a tattoo takes. But when he's done, you have a rectangular block of black, and in block letters in the middle, it says probably sane.
Perfect.
Nice
work, man.
He hands you a plastic bag with a seal on the top that you see him draw his fingers down, and says, "This is some aloe vera." Again, folks watching the stream, my players, I know bupkis about tattoos. If aloe is bad for tattoos, new ones, I apologize. But he says, this will help keep it infection free and clean. Apply this until the soreness stops.
Yeah, thanks, man, but I'm infected already.
Well, this will rot a hole in your head and give you a green skin sickness, which will kill you in a matter of days.
All right, I'll take it in that case.
Yes, sir. I thought so, sir. And he takes his Domars and just, you don't see it, but he just kind of...
And I mark off my 12 Domars. I feel like you did a nice job.
All right. He did it in MS Comic Sans, so, everybody knows now. No, he did it in block letters. Size of a quarter can take an hour to tattoo. Well, this is a future tattoo gun, okay? It's a future tattoo gun. All right, so
it's probably just in black.
What? Yes, it is in black. So this is taking time. This is taking a while to do. What are you guys doing while you're out? You're in this village. There are a few shops. There's a shop that appears to be selling some kind of drinkable stuff. There's a shop that sells farm implements. There's a general trading store. There's a place where they have they're actually selling farmed goods. You can buy and trade food there.
Come on, Mercy, I'll buy you a drink.
Okay.
So we'll head over to the beverage place.
Some kind of a fruit juice would be good.
All right, yeah, sure. They've got. He said, well, the brown bottles have got kick, and the clear bottles are for the kiddies.
I'll take a clear bottle just in case my skills are needed.
All right. And how about you, Rex?
Rex is going to take a brown bottle, and then he'll get an extra one for numbers.
Okay. That is going to be a total of 3 Domars.
Inflation is crazy. And he will hand over 3 Domars.
All right. The fellow thanks you, and a couple of other folks come up and they get them. It's getting late in the day, so time in the fields is, it's kind of ending. So folks are kind of starting to move around, and there's actually electric lights. They have a solar battery of some kind that they got from, Rex actually helped them with his power armor. He went there and was carried the generator there and helped set it up and whatnot.
It's good to see I can leave the world a better place.
Yeah. So,
For you and me.
So is there anything else that you guys wish to do then there in Goodwater? There's folks coming by, shaking your hand, greeting you. Mercy, you get introduced to a few folk there in the town, and as you go there for about, an hour, here comes Numbers. He's got a clean cloth that he's holding, and he pulls it back, and you see probably sane in block letters about 2 centimeters high inside a black outline box on his forehead.
Rex won't say anything. He'll just hand him the brown beverage, brown bottle.
All right. So make a note of this on your character sheet. Situation dependent may receive a +1 or a -1, or plus 10% or minus 10% to NPC reaction rolls.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. All right. So to not get too far ahead of our absent player tonight, this is a nice place to break it off. I'd like to thank everyone in the audience tonight who stopped by. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you, Rich, Lord Corion. Thank you very much for the supers. I greatly appreciated it. That is money that will go to help get the studio PC upgrade taken care of. That, I think, with last night's supers during the Arrow live stream and tonight's that new CPU is now more than covered. So thank you all players. Thank you very much, audience. We'll be back on Monday. We're going to have mail call on Monday. Tuesday, we're going to be playing first edition AD&D, of course, on Tuesday. That's going to be a thing. Now, I realize Monday is Memorial Day. Some of you folks may have things that you wish to do. Whether it's remembrance of a loved one who's a veteran, or you're just kind of taking the day to relax and reflect. But we'll be here Tuesday again, AD&D. Wednesday, hopefully Kyle will be back and be feeling better. Thursday, Heidi Gygax, Eric Garland be in the studio talking about their project. They're coming very close to completing their Kickstarter. Tomorrow, I'm going to drop a video. Got busy yesterday, got busy today, but a Tales of Tabletop Triumph video is coming. So keep your eyes out for that. And then next Friday, we'll be back and we'll find out what's going on inside Gamma World. But until then, guys, I love you all. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Take care of yourselves. And I don't have the Gamma World equivalent of an owl bear to sing you out with, so you'll have to forgive me, and we'll just do it with the plain old owl bear. Good night, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Peace.
Night,
Have
peeps.
you seen my owl bear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around. Some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle way off course? Naked as a toad all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take me to the show.